Zion, Zion,
Hey yo, Ran, turn that up.
only a few of us gon' make it out. Zion, Zion, only you remnant, 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 only you remnant. When is my people gon' learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We Jacob, the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. Only you remnant, 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 only you remnant. When is my people gon' learn? If you don't come back, you gon' burn. We Jacob, the scriptures confirm. It's time for my people return. Only a remnant. We at the end and we feeling it. We the sand of the sea, but a remnant. Should return to the word when they hearing it. We the sons of Israel.
Shalawam, Shabbat Shalawam, all praises be to the Most High Yahawah Allah and our King Hamashiach Yahawashi. Man, that was a beautiful song. Only a remnant. Only a remnant, right? It's destiny. Everything that the Most High said out of his mouth must happen. Nothing comes back void, right? Only a remnant. What a beautiful, beautiful song, man, that brother putting out. Listen, I got a beautiful one for you today. We're going to get directly into it. I mean, we're not going to hold because this is powerful, right? So, once again, giving all praises to our YAHAWAH Yahawah and our King Hamashiach Yahawashi, and let's dive right into it. Here we go. We're going to start off at 2 Corinthians chapter 4. And we're going to start at verse 1, right? To give some insight, we're going to be speaking about destiny. We're going to be speaking about destiny. Go ahead. Got my son here with me. You want to say anything before we get started?
Shalawam.
Shalawam. All right, go ahead.
Therefore, seeing we have this ministry, as we have received mercy, we faint not, but have renounced the hidden things of dishonesty, not walking in craftiness, nor handling the word of Al-Hayam deceitfully.
Deceitfully, go ahead.
But by manifestation of the truth, commending ourselves to every man's conscience in the sight of Al-Hayam.
Go ahead.
But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost.
It is hid to who?
It is hid to them that are lost.
So if you can't understand this gospel that we bringing out right now, if you can't receive this message, it's because I'm not saying it. This is what Paul is saying. It is hid from them that are what? Lost. Let's get verse 4.
In whom Al-Hayam of this world hath blinded the minds of them.
Speaking about Hasatan, go ahead. Because we know that the world was given into the hands of the wicked, right? Go ahead.
The minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach, who is the image of Al-Hayam, should shine unto them.
I mean, this is powerful. This is powerful. For we preach not ourselves, but Hamashiach Yahawashi, the master, and ourselves your servants for Yahawashi's sake. I mean, and it goes on and on and on. I don't want to keep going because I'm trying to, for time's sake. But if you haven't read this, please continue. Let me read 6. For Al-Hayam, who had commanded the light to shine out of the darkness, have shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge of our glory, Salakia, of the glory of Al-Hayam in the face of Yahawashi Mashiach. And I mean, it goes on and on, but for time's sake, we gonna leave it right there. That's beautiful. So the moral of this right here, what I was bringing out, is that if you can't receive this, it's because it has been blinded. And it says, in whom the Al-Hayam of this world. And we know that that's Satan. If you don't believe it, I'll show you in the NLT where it says Satan. Real quick, I'll bring that up to where it says Satan. Verse 4, it says what? Satan, who is the what? The little G-O-D of this world, has blinded the minds of those who don't believe, They are unable to see the glorious light of the good news. So when you try to share this with your family, with friends, with people on the streets, on the highways and byways, and they don't receive it, they don't get it, it's because they have been blinded by Hasatan. They are unable to see the glorious light of the goodness. They don't understand this message about the glory of Hamashiach, who is the exact likeness of who? Elohim. So I just wanted to show you that was Hasatan. So we're going to move forward to John. Let's go to John. Right? John 6. Let's go to John 6. And it's a reason why they can't understand it. And Hamashiach is going to say something about that right now. I want to start. If you haven't read John, please go back and read John. I think I'm going to start at 40. Look at these people talking. We're going to start at 41. Just these people. Look at, then the people began to murmur in disagreement because, let me see, is this NLT still? It's still in the NLT. Let me get the KJV. Hold on. Oh, okay. Here we go. Salakia for that. Then the Jews murmured at him because he said, I am the bread which came down from the Shemayim. Verse 42. And they said, is this not Yahawashi, the son of Joseph, whose father and mother we know? How is it then that he said, I came down from the Shemayim? They didn't understand. Why? I just read it to you in 2 Corinthians that their minds were blinded. But Hasatan has blinded them. Listen to this. Yahawashi therefore answered and said unto them, Salakia, murmur not amongst yourselves. Don't murmur amongst yourselves. Verse 44 is what I want. No man can come to me except the Father which hath sent me draw him. And I will raise him up at the last day. So no man can come to me except the Father which have sent me draw. So you just can't pick up and say, oh, today I'm going to serve Yahawashi. No. You have to be called. The Father has to what? Call you. It said no man can come to me except the Father which have sent me draw. The drag, pretty much, right? Draw you in. My son gave a reference like the pie when it's hot and you could smell it on the cartoons, in the little cartoon like that, right? He draws you in, right? So this is why this is called destiny, because if you're destined, you will be what? Drawn in. If you are destined, right? And like I say, let me get 45. It is written in the what? Prophets. And they shall be all taught of Elohim. Every man, therefore, that have heard and have learned of the Father, here it is again, coming to me. Coming to me. So, you know, that's destined. That's destined. I believe Isaiah spoke about it, 54 and 3. Jeremiah 31 and 34. I'm not going to get them, but you can pull them. You know. Now we're going to move over. Proverbs. This is what we bringing out. Destiny. Predestinated. Predestined. 16. Give me that. I'll read it. Ooh, 3 looks so good. I didn't have 3 on there, but it looks so. Commit thy works unto Yahweh, and thy thoughts shall be established. Ooh. Verse 4. Yahweh hath made all things for himself, for himself, yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. So even though it's evil people created, they were created for what? Salakia. They were created for the day of evil. That's destiny, right? Mm-hmm. That's not predestined. Yahweh have made all things for himself. Yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. That's what it says. Let's go to 2nd Ezra. Let's see what Ezra got to say. Oh, we're in Tobit. Well, first let's go to Tobit, and then we'll go to 2nd Ezra. How about that? Is that okay? Let's go to Tobit. What I'm trying to show is that certain things are predestined. There is a destiny for Israel. As I just played that song in the beginning, what did it say? Only a remnant. Only a remnant. Right? So there are things that are appointed, predestined in this destiny, right? So listen, we're going to go to Tobit 6, and I'm going to jump down. If you haven't read Tobit, once again, I always tell you to go back, read the whole thing. If you have not read these things you have not read these things, please go and read them. Please. You know, you have to educate yourself, and it says study to show yourself approved, correct? So we're going to blow this up. I'm going to go to 17. And it says right here, go ahead, I'll let you bring it out.
And the devil shall smell it, and flee away, and never come again any more.
Go ahead.
But when thou shalt come to her, rise up both of you, and pray to Allahayam.
And pray to Allahayam. Go ahead.
Which is merciful.
Yes, he is.
Who will have pity on you.
He will have pity on you. Go ahead.
And save you. Fear not, for she is appointed unto thee from the beginning.
Say that one more time. Fear not, because what?
For she is appointed unto thee from the beginning.
Appointed means to have something that's predestined, right? Beforehand. So when he took this woman to be his wife, the Malak right here is telling that she is appointed unto thee. Meaning this was destiny. This was predestined to happen. Right? It's nothing that he didn't just fall upon this woman all of a sudden. No, this is what was supposed to happen. Correct? Okay, I mean, I'm not tripping here. Okay, go ahead, finish it off.
And thou shalt preserve her, and she shall go with thee. Moreover, I suppose that she shall bear thee children. Now when Tobias...
Now, they haven't even had children, but this is the Malak telling him what's going to happen. She was appointed, and they're going to have children. Go ahead.
Now when Tobias had heard these things, he loved her.
He loved her.
And his heart was effectually joined to her.
So the point is, I'm trying to show you is that she was appointed unto him, right? All these things were predestined. So let's move on to 2nd Ezra. We're in the 1611 King James. If you don't have a 1611 at home with you, you can actually pull this up online like I'm doing right now. Just type in 1611 King James. Apocrypha, and it'll pull right up. We're going to go to 2nd Ezra, chapter 8. So much in here, man. I mean, it's just so much. I mean, you can see it all through the scriptures. You know, even in verse 1, he said right here, and he answered me saying, the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come for few. I mean, is that not being predestined right there? Verse 3. It says, there be many created, but few shall be saved. Once again, verse 3. There be many created, but few shall be saved. So we know, they pretty much know, Yahweh knows who's going to be saved and who's not. That's why the song I just played, once again, only a remnant. But we're going to jump down to verse... I want to get, because we got a lot to read here. Let me get 46.
Then answered he me, and said, things present me for a present, and things to come for such as be to come.
Things present are for the present. Go ahead.
For thou comest far short, that thou shouldest be able to love my creature more than I. But I have oft times drawn nigh unto thee and unto it, but never to the unrighteous.
But who?
But never to the unrighteous.
People tell you in the church and the congregations out there, everywhere, he hear everybody. Listen, the Bible says he doesn't hear the unrighteous. If you going off, he don't hear your prayers. Go ahead.
In this also thou art marvelous before the Most High.
Oh, go ahead.
In that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous.
See? Ezra had a humble heart. He was humble. He didn't count himself righteous. This is why you always hear me in my videos and anything that I do, I count myself in. I don't count myself out. I'm fighting in this thing just like anybody else. Just because I'm doing a video, don't think that I'm higher than you. We are all brothers. Listen, even our king came and was born in what? The flesh, to endure what we had to go through. He wanted to be counted as one of us, as one of the brethren. I mean, he was always higher than we was, but he wanted to be one of our brethren in the flesh. So never exalt yourself. If you are exalting yourself, you need to look at yourself in the mirror, you know. Humble yourself as Ezra did. But we're not going to stay on that too long, but go ahead.
For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride.
Now, this is the Malak telling Ezra about this. And through this conversation, we can already see in verse 50 that many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world. So that's telling you prophecy. Is that not? That's something that's destined, predestined to happen. Go ahead, once again.
But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee.
That's what I seek out. And it's very important, if you're watching this video, to seek out ones that are like you. Ones that are achieving righteousness. Ones that are seeking righteousness. Go ahead.
For unto you is paradise opened. The tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared. Plenteousness is made ready. A city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you. And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten.
Is fled into where?
Is fled into hell to be forgotten. Sorrows are past, and in the end is shewed the treasure of immortality. Verse 55. And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish.
So wait a minute, say that one more time, verse 55. And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude that perish. Perish means to die. So they're having a conversation about prophecy about future. They're having a conversation about the future, pretty much. Things that are predestined. Right? Go ahead.
For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High. Thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. See?
As Paul said in 2 Corinthians, they did not receive it because what? They were blinded by the little God of this world, Hasatan. And it says in here in 2nd Ezra, Ezra is saying the same thing that Paul is saying. For when they had taken liberty, liberty is what? Freedom. They despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law. You tell people about the law, you got to come back to the law, statute, commandments. Oh, no, not my God. That's not my, well, no, it's not, because your God is that one of Hasatan that Paul was speaking about, the one of this world. So, of course, that one doesn't want to have you, doesn't want you to come back to the law. But, once again, go ahead.
Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous.
They have did what?
Trodden down his righteous.
Go ahead, verse 58.
And said in their heart that there is no Allahayam.
Ooh. I think that's in Proverbs. He said, the fool have said in his heart that there is no Allahayam. Ooh, man, go ahead.
Yea, and that knowing they must die.
This is what kills me about people. Let me blow this up even more. This is what kills me. I know they're like, why he got it so big? But I want to put this on the screen. This is what kills me about people. Knowing very well that you must die. 58, and said in their heart that there is no Elohim. Yeah. And that knowing they must die. Go ahead, 59. That's powerful, man. That's powerful. Go ahead.
For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them.
Prepared. Predestined for them. Predestined for them. Right? Go ahead.
For it was not his will that men should come to naught.
Powerful, man. Go ahead.
But they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them.
Man. They defiled the Most High's name. They defiled. They were created by him. Go ahead.
And were unthankful unto him.
Ain't that something? We so unthankful as creatures, as his beasts, as his creation, and we're unthankful unto him. Prepared what?
Life for them.
He prepared life for us. Go ahead.
And therefore is my judgment now at hand.
Mm-hmm.
These things have I not showed unto all men.
See? Go ahead.
But unto thee, and a few like thee.
And a few like thee.
Then answered I and said, Behold, O master.
You can say master, but we're going to leave it at 62. We're going to leave it at 62. I mean, that's powerful right there. But I wanted to show that how things were predestined, right? And how people just, are unthankful of the Most High. But we're going to keep it moving here. Let's get another one. Let's jump over to our other brother, Solomon. Let's go to him real quick. We're going to jump to the wisdom. Let's see what he got to say. He got so much, but I'm going to just hit on the key point real quick. We're going to go to 19. Because he got fire. You know what I mean? If you haven't read the Wisdom of Solomon, once again, go back and read that whole book. Not just one chapter, but the whole book, right? And what I'm trying to show is that there's a such thing are predestined, right? Things that are supposed to happen. Prophecies that came out that have to happen, right? That have to happen. Let me get this real quick before we jump to Wisdom of Solomon. And I know I shouldn't jump like this, but I want to get this real quick because let me see, Jeremiah 10, right? And I know how people say, well, this ain't Christmas time. Look, we preach in season, out of season, and all that. But these things are predestined for people even today celebrating this thing. Hear ye the word which Yahawah speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith Yahawah, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of Shemayim, or the Shemayim. For the heathen are dismayed at them. For the custom of the people are vain. One cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workmen with an axe. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. Go ahead, verse 5.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them.
Don't be afraid of them. Go ahead.
For they cannot do evil.
They can't do no evil. Go ahead.
Neither also is it in them to do good.
Verse 6.
For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Yahawah, thou art great.
Thou art great, and thy name is great in might. Who would not fear thee, O King of the nations? Question. For to thee it what? Obtaineth. For as much as among all the wise men of the nations in all their kingdoms there is none like unto thee. But they altogether are brutish and foolish. The stock is a doctrine of what? Vanities. Silver spread into place. Look, I could go on and on and on and on, but I just want to get to my point real quick. I'm going to jump down. If you haven't read this, please read it. But my point is right here. It says, O Yahawah, I know that the way of man is not in himself. It is not in man that walketh to direct his steps. What does that mean? You're not directing your own path. You don't believe me? Let's get it in another translation so you can see it. And I know some of y'all say, well, I got it, right? But other people, we want to do it for the laymen that may have not got it, right? And here it is. This is Jeremiah's prayer. 10 and 23, it says, I know, Yahawah, that our lives are not our own. We are not able to plan our own course. Man, if that's not Jeremiah telling that your life is what? Predestined. That you have a certain destiny that's waiting for you. I don't know what it is. But I mean, even Jeremiah said, I know, Yahawah, that our lives are not our own. I tell people all the time, I tell my kids, I even tell myself to remembrance that this life that I'm living is not my own. We are here to do what? Yahawah's will, our Father's will. We are not able to plan our own course. So when you think you out there doing something man, Yahawah already planned that for you. He already got it lined up for you. Did not it say in Proverbs what? He made the wicked for what? His destruction. So I just wanted to show this in Jeremiah, 10:23. Now let's go back where we was in Wisdom of Solomon. I mean, there's so much in here. And we'll start it from the top. I'll let you just read that because I know you like, man, he taking all my shine. Go ahead, read it from the top. And this is what it's all about, showing the predestined. Go ahead.
As for the ungodly,
showing what is predestined. Go ahead.
As for the ungodly, wrath came upon them without mercy unto the end. For he knew before what they would do.
He knew before what they would do. Go ahead.
How that having given them leave to depart.
Now this is talking about our forefathers that left out of Egypt. And this is talking about the Egyptians, right? When we left out, how that having given them leave to depart when we left out of Egypt and set them hastily away, or were sent them hastily away, Salakia, that they would repent and pursue them. Y'all know the story. You ever watched that movie, The Ten Commandments? You seen how they had the chariots and they was coming after us and everybody was scared and Moses had to do the water and all that. Y'all know the story. Go ahead.
For whilst they were yet mourning and making lamentation
at their graves, go ahead,
of the dead.
Right, because the Most High killed all their firstborn sons. Right? Did he not? Yes, sir, he did. He said the angel of what? The Malak of what? Death through there. Don't shake the camera. Go ahead.
They added another foolish device and pursued them as fugitives, whom they had entreated to be gone.
Go ahead.
For the destiny.
For the what?
For the destiny.
Come on. All right. I didn't say that. Who's this? This is Solomon, one of the wisest men that was ever born and lived. He said in verse 4, for the destiny, meaning they had no choice. This is what they were created for. This is what they were born for. Those particular people at that particular time, this is what they were born for. It was destiny for this to happen. Go ahead.
Whereof they were made worthy, drew them unto this end.
Drew them into this end. Go ahead.
And made them forget the things that had already happened.
Already happened. What? All of the plagues. All of the plagues. The water turning into blood. The frogs. The children being killed in the night. All those things that just happened. They were just, it said right here in verse, what verse is this? Let me see. Verse 3, lamentation at the graves of the dead. They was lamenting, crying, soaking in sorrow at the graves. Added another foolish device, meaning they said, well, you know what? We're going to get together and now we're going to pursue them people that we just let free. Foolish device. Go ahead. And then it says, verse 4, for the destiny whereof they were worthy. This is what they were worthy of. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Drew them unto this end, and made them forget the things that had already happened, that they might fulfill the punishment which was wanting to their torments.
I mean, hey, it said it all right there. I don't think we need to go no further. I really don't, But let's get something else. Let's jump back over here. Revelations. I want to go to Revelations. Let me go to Revelations and 6. We'll get something here. Revelation 6. The fifth seal. 6 and 9. Go ahead.
And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the ruachs of them that were slain for the word of Elohim.
For the word of Elohim. Go ahead.
And for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Yahweh, Kadosh and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth?
Man, I mean, when you gonna avenge our blood? We got slain for you. Huh? When you gonna avenge our blood? And what did he say? And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said to them that they should rest just for a little season until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. So you have people that has to what? Be murdered and killed. For who? For the gospel, for Yahweh, for Yahawashi. Right? Verse 10 said, and they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, master? Kadosh and true? Dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? He said, just hold tight until all be fulfilled, predestined. Right? We got one more. Let's jump over to let me see. I'm gonna get this one and then we're gonna wrap it up. Cause I think I don't need to beat a dead horse. I believe y'all get it out there. You know, that it's some things out there that's just predestined. Who else talks about it? Here we go. Paul talking about it right here. Ephesians 1. We're going to leave off with this. We're going to read this whole thing, but we're going to leave off with this because this is powerful. You know? Hamashiach said what? Nobody can come to the Father unless you are drawn. Huh? Unless the Father, Yahweh, draw you, you can't come to Hamashiach. Even though he is the door. And if you try to go any other way, he said you a thief and a robber. Yeah, you. If you looking at this and you going any other way, you a thief and a robber. Go ahead, Ephesians 1. Let the word speak.
Paul, an apostle of Yahawashi Hamashiach, by the will of Elohim, to the saints which are of Ephesus, and to the faithful in Hamashiach Yahawashi.
To the faithful, go ahead.
Grace be to you and peace from Elohim our Father, and from the Master, Yahawashi Hamashiach.
Then see, people read that and they say, I don't know how the Christian church say that Yahawashi is the Most High. Clearly, they can't read the Bible. It says, grace be to you and peace from Elohim, our Abba, and from the Master, Yahawashi Hamashiach. Barak be the Elohim and Father of our Master, Yahawashi Mashiach. It clearly says it right there. Barak be the Elohim and Father of our Master, Yahawashi Mashiach, who have baraked us with all spiritual barakas in the Shemayim places in Hamashiach. Salakia for that. According as he have chosen us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be Kadash and without blame before him in love. Paul said it was chosen. That's what he said. According as he have chosen us in him before the foundation of the world. So he knew who he was going to choose before the foundation of the world. Verse 5, I'll let you say that one.
Having predestinated.
What? No. Say it one more time. Having what?
Having predestinated.
That's what I'm saying. This is what this whole video is about. Destiny, predestined. Are you predestined? Have you been called? Because it said in the Bible, many are called, but few are chosen. Paul said up here, according as he have what? Chosen. You know, when I first came into the truth, a lot of people told me, A lot of elders and different things like that would tell me, oh man, you got a calling on you. You got a calling on you. Well, listen, I'm glad you called, but you got to put in the work to be chosen. You know what I mean? Being called ain't nothing. For the parable of what? Many. I'm not going to go off and I'm not going to. But some fall on the rocks. Some fall, different places. But do you have that root? That's what it's important. So we'll move on. Go ahead.
Having predestinated us unto the adoption of the children by YAHAWAH YAHAWASHI to himself, according to the good pleasure of his will, to the praise of the glory of his grace, wherein he hath made us accepted in the beloved, in whom we have redemption through his blood, and forgiveness of sins, according to the riches of his grace, wherein he hath abundant toward us in all wisdom and prudence, having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which hath purposed in himself.
Now, Salakia, remember we started this off in 2 Corinthians chapter 4. And right here in Ephesians 1:9, it said, having made known unto us the mystery of his will. See, Paul wasn't blinded. And if you're looking at this video and you made it this far and you see what I see, you're not blinded. Because having made known unto us the mystery of his will, according to his good pleasure, which he hath proposed in himself, Salakia, that in the what? Go ahead.
That in the dispensation of the fullness of time, he might gather together in one all things in Hamashiach, both which are in Shemayim and which are on earth, even in him, in whom also we have obtained an inheritance, being predestinated.
Bring what?
Being predestinated.
There's that word again. Let me click on that word real quick. Verse 11. Let's see what that word really means. It's the Greek 4309. Let's see what it says here. We'll get the
Strong's G 4309. Praorizo.
Barizo. What does it say? The biblical usage? To what?
To predetermine. Decide beforehand.
To decide beforehand. Ooh, sound like predestined destiny, right? Go ahead. In the New Testament of Elohim decreeing from what? Eternity. Wow. Go ahead. To what?
To foreday. Okay, foreordain. Appoint beforehand.
I mean, that's good enough. That's good enough. Oh, what, you want something else? Go ahead if you want to.
To limit in advance.
To what?
To limit in advance. Predetermined. Determined before. Ordained. Predestinate.
That's all I've been saying. That's why I started off this whole thing with that song, Only a Remnant. Are you part of that remnant? Let's go. Verse 12.
That we should be to the praise of his glory, who first trusted in Hamashiach, in whom ye also trusted, after that ye heard the word of truth, the gospel of your salvation, in whom also after that ye believed, ye were sealed with the Ruach HaKodesh.
You was what?
You were sealed.
You was sealed. If you in this gospel, you believe this gospel, you believe that Hamashiach Yahawashi is the Savior sent by our Abanawa Yahweh Allah, man, he say you sealed. He say you sealed. Because right here it says, in whom ye also trusted, after that ye heard the word of the truth. If you put your trust in Hamashiach Yahawashi, you've heard the word of the truth, the gospel of your salvation. In whom also after ye believed, ye were what? Sealed. Man, you know in Revelations, it's 4 Malachs on 4 corners of the earth, and it's like before they get with it, it's another Malach can come and say, hold on. Before you let the 4 winds go, before you do anything, let me put the seal on those that who? Yahweh's. And it says right here, you are sealed with that Ruach, or that Kadash Ruach, or the Ruach HaKodesh, however you want to put, of promise. Man, I want to get some of this. Go ahead. I'm going to let you read it, though, boy, because I'm itching. I'm itching to get it. Go ahead.
Which is the earnest of our inheritance unto the redemption of the purchased possession.
Woo! You were purchased. You are his possession. That's why in the beginning, what did it say? What that verse I showed you said, this is not your what? Your own life. Did not Jeremiah say this? You can't do the course that you want. You are purchased. You are purchased possession. And not in Proverbs did he say he made the wicked for his destruction. Even they purchase. But they purchase for destruction. Right? I'm doing this, man. I could be purchased for destruction. But you know what? As long as the will of the Abba and Yahawashi Mashiach go for it, that's all that's concerned. That's all that matters. Who knows what their end is? I don't know what I'm destined for. Of course, I would want to be in the kingdom. Anybody has sense and common sense will want to be in the kingdom, but that don't mean I'm going to make it to the kingdom. I don't know what I'm predestined for. I don't know what my destiny is. And anybody who talks like that, talking about we got it all true, we got it all figured out, I'm going to be there in the kingdom. Ooh, man, you talking like a fool. You talking like a fool. Go ahead.
Unto the praise of his glory. Verse 15.
Go ahead.
Wherefore I also, after I heard of your faith in
the Master Yahawashi and love unto all the saints, all of the Kodoshim, cease not to give thanks. I almost said the water. Cease not to give thanks for you, making mention of you in my prayers, that the Elohim or Elohim of our Master Yahawashi Mashiach, the Father of glory, may give unto you the Ruach of wisdom and the revelation in the knowledge of him. See, Paul is asking and praying for these people that they receive the what? The Ruach of wisdom and the revelation in the knowledge of him. Have you received this? Man, I just did a video on being born again. Have you received this? The revelation in the knowledge of him? Verse 18, the eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that ye may know what is the hope of his calling, and what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints of the Kodoshim. Man, how powerful this is. And what is the exceeding greatness of his power to usward who believe, according to the working of his mighty power, which he wrought in Hamashiach, when he raised him from the dead and set him at his own right hand in the Shemayim, or the Shemayim places. How can people say that Yahawashi is the Almighty, is the Allah Shaddai? Huh? How can they say this when these verses clearly say he's sitting at the right hand? This is what I mean. This is what Paul is speaking about. Those people minds have been what? Blinded. They go about speaking about things that they don't know, leading our people astray. Oh, man. Anyway, verse 21. Far above all principality and power and might and dominion and every name that is named, not only in this world, listen to this, not only in this world, but also in that which is to come. You want me to take it out or you want to finish it? Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I just get into it, man. It's just a powerful thing, man. All praises be to the Most High Yahweh. Kahallah Yahweh Bashima Mashiach Yahushai. Go ahead.
Verse 22. And hath put all things under his feet.
Come on.
And gave him to be the head over all things.
The head. Hamashiach is the head over all what?
Over all things. To the church.
Now, they put that thing in there called the church. We know it's Israel. How do we know that? Come on, we gonna go to it real quick. You know, this is them playing with the words and playing with the scriptures, man. And they gonna pay for that. They gonna pay for that. But we gonna click on it and see what it say. This word church, it's the Greek 1577. We'll get the word.
Strong's G 1577. Ecclesia.
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 We're going to get the biblical usage. A gathering of citizens called out from their homes into some public place. An assembly. An assembly of people at a... Let me see what I want. Oh, B. This is what I want right here. Listen, it's very simple. They give you all of this nonsense about Christians and this and that. A Christian gathered for worship and religious meeting and all this old stuff. Listen, B is where it's at. The assembly of who? The Israelites. You can get all this stuff you want. You can put all the Christian and all that stuff you want in here. But clearly, B says it all. The assembly of the Israelites. It's right here. Who is he coming for? Israel. Matthew, who does he say he was born to save their sins? Israel. So, I mean, y'all can play that game if you want. You know what I mean? And have what? Put all things under his feet and gave him to be the head over all things to what?
The church.
Of course it says church, Israel. Go ahead.
Which is his body.
Which is who?
His body.
Come on.
The fullness of him that filleth all in all.
Come on, man. His body. You know? And it says right here, what is his body? The fullness of him that fulfilleth all in all. Let me show you this real quick. I have to. I don't know why. Something's just telling me. Salaki. Right here. I'm going to start at 16. Let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Abba, which is in the Shemayim. This is Yahawashi speaking. Listen to this. Fulfill. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. For I truly, I say unto you, till Shemayim and the earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall not pass, shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. And all hasn't been fulfilled. All has not been fulfilled. So the law is still intact because all has not been fulfilled. Definitely. And then we're going to get ready to get out of here because, I mean, I'm going off right now, but, you know, I have to say this when people put that thing in there about the church. Listen, right here, what does it say? But he answered. Send her away. Listen, it's verse 24. But he answered her not a word. And his disciples came and besought him, saying, send her away, for she crieth after us. But he answered her and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. So clearly we know who he sent for. Clearly we know who he died for. Clearly we have an understanding that things are what? Predestined, right? You have a destiny and predestined that's waiting for you. And if you finish this video, man, I hope it was edifying for you. I hope you got some kind of edification. And, you know, as Paul said, and all the prophets and all the apostles, everybody always said, fight the good fight. You know, turn back, serve Yahweh in righteousness, and take off that old man and put on that new man, right? And I pray, you know, for you out there that's watching this video, that not only you, but me too, I pray that we're destined for the kingdom, that we're predestined for the kingdom. And hopefully, you know, I see you in there. Hopefully. But if not, I'll see you on the other side. And with that, we're going to say, Shalawam.
We know he coming. We see the prophecy. We know he coming. But it's only a remnant. Only a remnant.